Once again, it is a new month, and that means it is time to take a look at the latest shipment from our good friends at Video Games Monthly. What's going on, everyone? I'm Jay, my channel Square Pegs, and I am doing 2 videos a week where I look at the best in retro and modern gaming. And one of the things that I do every month is I receive my shipment from Video Games Monthly. We pop it open, we take a look at every game, I show you gameplay, and give you my thoughts on each game. I don't really worry so much about the monetary value because I don't have a huge retro collection, so this is a way for me to build it, and in that regards, Video Games Monthly is absolutely worthwhile. So what do you say? Let's crack this guy open, free him from his priority mail prison, and find out what's inside. Now, normally I take these over to the table and we just unbox them there, and I kind of let you guys get a sneak peek of what's in there before I actually find out what it is, but I enjoyed last month where I was right on camera with you guys and I just held it up here and we opened it together and we found out what was going on, so I think we're going to do that again. So let's crack this guy open and find out what's inside. Up first we have... Hey, it's a Video Games Monthly 1-Up card. You can never have too many of these. These are awesome for cleaning classic cartridges for your game consoles. You want to make sure that they're clean going into your systems, because that way they don't gunk up the pin readers inside your old consoles. This is awesome. All right, up first we have an NES cartridge, and we have... Holy... Wow! Metroid. Okay, let's take a look at this one. I mean, what more needs to be said about Metroid? Unless you've been living under a rock for the last, 35 years, you know what this game is. I don't need to explain to you that it's kind of the namesake of the Metroidvania genre, and because it's just gonna lead to, me waxing nostalgic about this game. But ironically, I couldn't do that because what you guys are seeing here is probably the first time I've actually played Metroid on NES equivalent hardware since about 1988. I never owned Metroid growing up, and it wasn't something that I was head over heels in love with. I appreciated it. I rented it a couple of times, and I thought it was a neat game, but for my money, I wanted to play, ironically, Castlevania. I thought it was a better game. It was something I was going to go back to more often. And I just never really got into the franchise until Super Metroid came out. I mean, I knew about the game, and I knew what it was, and I understood that it was this, sprawling space exploration game where you're fighting aliens and all this other stuff. And I knew of Mother Brain from Captain N the Game Master. I'd never beaten the game before myself, so I didn't know who she was as a villain, but it was something that I just never got around to playing and never really had a desire to play. So owning this now is kind of a treat. I've never owned it before. This is the first time I've ever owned the original Metroid. And even better, this is the silver label. It's not the yellow label re-release. So yeah, this is just, I think it's really neat. And, it's nice to boot this game up and play it and actually pay attention to it. Because, I've played it a few times in, Virtual Console entries and stuff like that. But this is the first time I think I've actually sat down with an NES controller in my hand, playing the game and really focused on it and realized how many of the things that became touchstone, just, bedrock moments for the franchise stemmed from this original entry. A lot of the music in Metroid has evolved from this original entry. All of the weapons and power-ups and things like that, and just the general exploration stems from this 8-bit game from 1986, and I think that's really cool. Damn it, I did not expect to get a Metroid out of this. That's probably the best pull I have ever gotten in a Video Games Monthly shipment. Next, we have a Sega Genesis cartridge, and it is... Taz! Taz is really good. This is a good game. I actually really like this one. Let's take a look at Taz. Okay, I promise I'm not going to ramble on as long as I did about Metroid for every single game in here, so apologies for that. Tazin Escape from Mars is actually a really interesting game, and I think it does a lot of stuff exceedingly well. There's a lot of exploration you have to do. It feels like a Looney Tunes version of Sonic the Hedgehog because you're going upside down and all around these different platforms and moving about in just an incredibly quick speed. And you have the spin attack, which is basically Sonic ducking and using the rolling attack. And I think there's a lot of really good stuff here, but it just doesn't quite get there. The controls are really floaty. The graphics look great, which I think is fantastic, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it had enough time to bake all the way. It's really loose controls really kind of kill the excitement for the game and how good this could potentially be. And I know that's, going back and rating something, 20 years after it released. Actually, geez, 28 years? Oh my god, I'm ancient. Because this released in 94. So going back and rating something 28 years after it released is kind of silly to look at it and say, yeah, this could have been better, blah, blah, blah. But when I look at other games that released in the similar time frame that had similar playstyles like Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic 2, something could have been done here to make this game absolutely spectacular rather than it just being good. Because, it is a good game and it's fun to play. It's just, this could have been absolutely incredible. All right, this is, judging by the notch on the bottom, this is a GameCube disc, and we have Super Bubble Pop. And let's see if Super Bubble Pop is complete. Because, that'd be nice. And it's from Jalico. And hey, you know what? It is. So all told, this is a pretty big win for me. Okay, legitimately, I thought Super Bubble Pop was going to be horrific, and I am honestly quite surprised at how much fun this game is. Now, that's not me saying I'm going to be playing this all the time. This is my new favorite GameCube game. Far from it. I probably won't play this very frequently, in fact, but what it does exceedingly well, and it actually has some really ambitious design elements here. So what this essentially is Bust-A-Move or Puzzle Bobble, except it's on a straight plane, and rather than you shooting balls up at the screen and looking at when they're going to drop down, you're actually getting stuff moving forward towards you to make it more of a 3D experience. So you actually kind of have to figure where you're going to line stuff up and where you're going to shoot stuff. It is a match 3 game, but it's a match 3 game that does something different and actually makes itself stand apart from other match 3 games in the space. The music is really good. The graphics are a little muddy, but it does work. I mean, you're shooting marbles at other marbles. I mean, it doesn't have to look spectacular, but it's actually a really fun game. And whenever you get a GameCube game and it's complete in box from a service like this, is an absolute bonus. I really enjoyed this game significantly more than I thought I was going to, and I'm really happy to have it. I always love adding stuff to the GameCube collection, and Super Bubble Pop is shockingly fun. And finally, this feels like a standard, and I think I caught a glimpse of blues. It's probably a Wii U cart or disc. Let's see. We have Pokken Tournament. All right, not bad. Okay, really cool thing here about Pokken Tournament. So yeah, it's complete, and it even comes to the Shadow Mewtwo card, which is really cool. That's pretty awesome. This is an amiibo card, so if you don't know that, you can actually use this to unlock Shadow Mewtwo in-game and use him in-game. That's pretty cool. So this wouldn't be the first time I've owned Pokken Tournament, or Pokken Tournament. I don't actually know how to pronounce this game, so I'm just going to call it Pokken Tournament because I think that sounds better. So this isn't the first time I've owned Pokken Tournament on the Wii U. We used to own it, and we actually traded it in when Pokken Tournament DX released on the Switch because, I mean, we were upgrading everything at that time, so I didn't really see a need to hang on to it. But getting this now, I actually see kind of some of the charm that's inherent to the Wii U version because, I mean, I love the Wii U gamepad, and this actually does make some use of it. And I think that it is probably one of the most underutilized and underappreciated controllers in the history of gaming, and I will actually do a video on that down the road. And I think this game's really fun. Like, I mean, it's just a fun, simple fighting game featuring Pokemon. And I think the real sleeper hit of this isn't just the game itself, because, I mean, the game itself is worth like $10, but getting the Shadow Mewtwo amiibo card, which according to price charting ranges anywhere from $27 to $40 in value, is just astonishing to me. I don't necessarily expect to get high-value things from Video Games Monthly, and I'm certainly not going to say no if they want to send me a copy of Little Samson. Be my guest, boys, don't mind. But getting something like this inside of a $10 game is really, you know, it's nice. It's nice to win one, and this is kind of the icing on the cake. Like, I already enjoy the Video Games Monthly service, and I think it's great, but to get something like this is kind of a toss-in, and I know it originally shipped with it, and that's fine, but to get it tossed in to really increase the value of what you get is awesome. And I mean, look, it's a fun game. I always like adding stuff to the Wii U collection. It's something I'm actually, I mean, I'm not a completionist. I'm never going to go for a complete set of anything except maybe Evercade, but this is just something that it's nice to have. It's one of those signature games for the system, and I'm happy to have it back. For me, I got a new GameCube game, a new Wii U game, a kick-ass Genesis game, and an absolutely stellar NES game. This was a really good month for me. Now, I love Video Games Monthly. I've loved the service ever since I subscribed to it. I actually started it before I had a channel and did it for a few months, and I got a lot of stuff I really liked, and then I had to stop for financial reasons. But as I've been doing the channel, I resubscribed because, honestly, it's easy content. Being able to do this and talk to you guys about the games I get in is pretty awesome, and this month is a spectacular month. Now, I will tell you, they're not always winners like this. There are definitely months where you get worse games than this, and you get some stuff where you're just like, why would I want this? But honestly, the good thing about that is that this is all stuff that you can bring into stores and trade in. You can get your money back in other ways. I will admit, looking at stuff like this, sometimes you can look at it and not see the forest for the trees, where you're just looking at it and saying, oh, I'm just throwing money out the window, I'm not getting what I want, but you do end up getting the money back in one way, shape, or form. Either through the gameplay experience of having the fun with the games that you get, or being able to trade them into another store or to another collector and be able to upsell that to get something else in your collection. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite thing is that I pulled this month. I gotta say, it's probably gonna be Metroid for most folks. But you know what? Taz is not a bad game. I actually got 4 things here that I'm pretty stoked about. Please hit like, please subscribe if you're new around here, and hey, if you really dig the work I do, consider becoming a monthly Patreon sponsor like the wonderful people you're seeing on screen right now. And if you want to support the channel even further, consider picking up some of our merchandise at squarepegsyt.com. I've got shirts there for men, women, and kids, as well as different accessories featuring awesome Square Pegs branding. Until next time, folks, I've been Jay. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me today, and if you want to check out any of my other Video Games Monthly unboxings, check out the videos up here right now. Remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.